In a move that marks NATO's increased military readiness in Eastern Europe, NATO's Spearhead Force, or Very High Readiness Joint Task Force, deployed for the first time to Poland for a major exercise, Exercise Noble Jump. This move is seen as a strong signal to Russia, which has continued its military aggression against Ukraine since its invasion in 2022. More than 2,100 troops from 9 NATO member states participated in the exercise. The exercise not only demonstrated NATO's collective military strength, but also emphasized the speed, efficiency, and interoperability between forces from various countries. A key element of the exercise was the presence of 200 soldiers and 70 military vehicles from Norway and Germany, who traveled by road and rail from Germany to the Polish city of Żagań, a journey of just a few hours. This demonstrated that NATO is not just a political alliance, but also possesses a real and rapid military response force when needed. These troops are part of the NATO Response Force, a multinational standby force that can be deployed quickly in the face of a crisis. The exercise comes amid growing NATO concerns about Russia's continued aggression in eastern Ukraine and the potential threat to the Baltic states and NATO's frontline members such as Poland, Romania, and Lithuania. With the Russia-Ukraine conflict showing no signs of abating until August 2025, the deployment of the VJTF near the eastern border signals NATO's readiness to act swiftly in the event of an attack on its member states. Russia, which has long accused NATO's expansion of threatening its national security, reacted strongly to the exercise. Russian state media called the exercises an open provocation, while Kremlin officials warned that such a move could exacerbate regional tensions. However, from NATO's perspective, these exercises are part of a legitimate, long-standing deterrence and defense strategy. NATO emphasizes that such exercises are defensive in nature and not aimed at attacking anyone. The VJTF is part of NATO's Readiness Action Plan initiative, launched after Russia's annexation of Crimea in 2014. The Spearhead Force has a core force of approximately 5,000 personnel that can be deployed within 48 to 72 hours to any NATO region in need of immediate assistance. It includes air, land, sea, and cyber elements, with member states rotating command each year. As of 2025, Germany holds primary command over the VJTF. In the NOBLE jump exercise, they coordinate cross-border movements, logistics, and communication systems between forces to simulate a real-life crisis scenario. The Polish government welcomed the arrival of the VJTF troops, seeing it as a concrete demonstration of NATO's commitment to defending its member territories. The Polish Minister of Defense stated, "This is not just a military exercise, it is a message that every inch of NATO territory will be defended." Meanwhile, other countries such as the United Kingdom, Romania, Spain, and Italy also contributed to the exercise, providing military personnel, equipment, and logistical support. Exercise Noble Jump. 2025 is more than just a routine exercise, it is a strategic demonstration of NATO's readiness amidst the existential threat from Russia. The rapid deployment of VJTF troops to Poland not only demonstrates NATO's technical and logistical capabilities, but also sends a clear diplomatic message that European security is a shared priority and any form of aggression will not go unanswered. With the Russia-Ukraine conflict remaining unresolved and geopolitical tensions rising, NATO's presence in Eastern Europe is likely to continue to strengthen. Exercises like the Noble Jump symbolize the collective spirit of maintaining peace through strength and preparedness. Exercise Noble Jump 2025 also served as a real-world test of NATO's evolving joint command and control system. In this exercise, NATO integrated units from various countries into a unified command structure. Officers and commanders from Norway, Germany, Poland, and the Baltic states worked side by side to coordinate logistics, reconnaissance, air defense systems, and tactical battlefield scenarios. NATO's satellite-based communications, technology, and command systems were also tested in a simulated contingency conflict scenario in the border region. The results were considered satisfactory by NATO officials, reinforcing confidence that the VJTF could indeed operate in real combat conditions in a short time. From the Russian military's perspective, the rapid deployment of NATO troops to Poland only reinforced the Kremlin's long-standing concern that NATO had transformed from a defensive alliance into an expansionist force near Russia's borders. As a result, Russia has increased air patrols and accelerated the deployment of medium-range missile systems in the Kaliningrad region and Belarus, now a close military partner of Moscow. Independent military analysts have argued that NATO's move could actually lead to a spiral of escalation, with both sides simultaneously increasing combat readiness, increasing the risk of miscalculation on the ground. However, NATO countries, especially newer members like Finland and Sweden, view these deployments as vital safeguards for their national security. Both countries, which officially joined NATO following Russia's invasion of Ukraine, participated in this year's multinational exercises. Although Ukraine is not a NATO member, this year's Noble Jump exercise also reflected NATO's indirect commitment to support the country. In several training sessions, simulated scenarios mimicked actual conflict situations in eastern and southern Ukraine. NATO forces trained to counter drone strikes, integrated artillery attacks, and hybrid operations similar to the tactics used by Russian forces in Ukraine. Several Ukrainian military instructors were also invited to observe the exercise and share combat experiences from real battlefields, enriching NATO's tactics and procedures in dealing with modern asymmetric warfare. The deployment of the VJTF to Poland sends a much larger strategic message: that NATO has transformed from a passive alliance into an active force with high readiness, capable of rapid, coordinated, and offensive defensive action when needed. It also reflects a collective commitment that NATO's Article 5, which states that an attack on one member state is an attack on all, is not merely symbolic but can be implemented in practice. This exercise also signals to non-member states, including those in the Indo-Pacific region, that NATO will not stand idly by in the face of great power aggression. Moral and logistical support for Ukraine, joint exercises with global partners, and the deployment of rapid response forces represent a new face of NATO in a more unstable geopolitical era.